My dear children, today I am going to teach you the second language English for 10th standard. So the poem, George poem 2. George poem 2 by Carl Wendell Ice Jr. Okay, first we have to know about the author. Carl Wendell Ice Jr. was born in North Carolina. He was graduated from Paris Agricultural and Industrial University in 1962. His verses have been hoisted as some of the best by contemporary writers. So, he ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ನಾರ್ತ್ ಕರೋಲಿನಾದಲ್ಲಿ. ಇವರು ಕೃಷಿ ಮತ್ತು ಕೈಗಾರಿಕಾ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ರಾಜುಯೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಪಡೆದಿರುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ವರ್ಸಸ್ ಅವನು ಬರೆದಂತ ಕವನಗಳು ಅವನ ಸಮಕಾಲೀನ ಬರಹಗಾರರಲ್ಲಿ ಇವರ ಕವನಗಳು ಬಹಳ ಪ್ರಮುಖ ಅನಿಸ್ತವೆ. So this is about the poets who wrote this poem. Okay. Now, we have to understand the new words or content words, so which we can see. So when we come across the poem, where is living? Where is of living means no longer interested in or enthusiastic about anything in life. ಉತ್ಸಾಹವಿಲ್ಲದ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಥಿತಿ, ಉತ್ಸಾಹವಿಲ್ಲದ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯನ್ನು ವೇರಿಯಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಫ್ರೈ ಫ್ರೈ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಥ್ರೆಡ್ಸ್ in a piece of cloth starting to come apart. Threads in which a piece of cloth starting to come apart. Yes. ಹಳೆ ಬಟ್ಟೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ದಾರ ಕಿತ್ತು ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. Yes, we can use it in your own sentence. The old man wore a shirt in which threads starting to come apart. The old man wore the shirt in which threads starting to come apart. Sad to had. Means ಜೋತಾಡುವುದು. So nowadays most of the people have sagging stomach. Nowadays most of the people have sagging stomach. ಇತ್ತೀಚಿನ ಜನರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಜೋಲಾಡುವ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆಯನ್ನ ಹೊಂದಿರುತ್ತಾರೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸಾಲಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್. Means a state of being alone. Being alone. Means ontitana. Screaming notes. Screaming notes. Loud musical sounds. Loud musical sounds. Yes. Loud musical sounds. ಒಂದು ಜೋರಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸಂಗೀತದ ಒಂದು ಶಬ್ದ. ಸೊ ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಹಿಯರ್ ಎ ಲೌಡ್ ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಕಲ್ ಸೌಂಡ್. I don't want to hear loud musical. I don't want to hear screaming notes. Screaming notes. Yes. Have you understood the meaning of the new words? Okay, now come to the poem. Open your textbook. Before going to the poem, so here is a passage. Here is a. So before you read the poem, you have to know this. Like the ancient mariner in Coleridge's poem, the old George musician feels he has a message for the people of the world. He is a pathetic figure, but at the same time a commanding artist. He has the power in him to make people listen, a gift that not many possess. He is silent in speech, but eloquent in music. Like the ancient mariner in Coleridge's poem, the old George musician. So here, the old George musician is compared to a ancient mariner. Ancient mariner. Okay, he has a message for the people of the world. So old George musician has a message for the people of the world. ಪ್ರಪಂಚದ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸಂದೇಶವನ್ನು ಇವನು ಹೊಂದಿರ್ತಾನೆ. He is a pathetic figure. ಇವನು ನೋಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಕರುಣಾಜನಕ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ. ಬಟ್ ಅಟ್ ದಿ ಸೇಮ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಎ ಕಮಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ಟಿಸ್ಟ್. ಇವನೊಬ್ಬ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠ ಕಲಾಕಾರನಾಗಿರ್ತಾನೆ. He has the power in him to make people listen. ಜನ ಇವನ ಸಂಗೀತವನ್ನ ಕೇಳುವಂತೆ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಸಾಮರ್ಥ್ಯ ಇವನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಎ ಗಿಫ್ಟ್ ದಟ್ ನಾಟ್ ಮೆನಿ ಪೊಸೆಸ್. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಈ ಗಿಫ್ಟ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಸೈಲೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಸ್ಪೀಚ್, ಮಾತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಮೌನ. ಬಟ್ eloquent in music, but he is good at expressing thoughts in words. Eloquent means a good at expressing thoughts in words. Okay, now I am going to recite the poem. I am going to recite the poem. While I am reciting, you will have to enjoy the poem. You have to listen and enjoy the poem. Okay. Open your textbook. There in stands sea, like a black ancient mariner, his wrinkled old face so full of the weariness of living is turned downward. Closed eyes, his frayed color, faded blue, old shirt turned dark with sweat and the old necktie, undone drops loosely about the wall. Old jacket just barely holding his sagging stomach in hat. His rundown shoes have paper in them, and his rough, unshaven face shows pain. In each wrinkle, but there he stands in self-gratitude, solitude, head, still down eyes, still closed ears, perked and trained upon
The bass line for across his chest lays an old alto saxophone, supported from his neck by a wire coat hanger. Gently he lifts it now to parted lips. See, to tell all the world that he is a black man, that he was sent here to preach the gospel of George, now preaching it with words of screaming notes and chords. He is no longer a man, no, not even a black man, but a bird, one that gathers his wings and flies higher, until he flies away or come back to find himself a black man again. Black man again. Okay, have you enjoyed the poem? Now, let us understand the poem. Let us understand the poem. So in this poem, describes an old George player. So the poet describes an old George player and how he is transformed. Transformed when he plays the music he loves. How he is transformed when he plays the music. When he plays the music. So the George player has a rough, unshaven face. The George player has a rough, unshaven face and a sagging stomach. George player has a sagging stomach, wears a faded blue shirt. He wears faded blue shirt, a loose necktie, and an old jacket. ಅವರು ಬಣ್ಣ ಮಾಸಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನೀಲಿ ಬಣ್ಣದ ಒಂದು ಬಟ್ಟೆನ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತಾನೆ, ಸಡಿಲವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಟೈನ್ ಕಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾನೆ, ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಜಾಕೆಟ್, ತುಂಬಾ ಹಳೆದು. ಈ ಜಾಕೆಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟಾರ್ನ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಜಾಕೆಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಇವನು ಧರಿಸಿರ್ತಾನೆ. His shoes are run down. ಈ ಶೂಸ್ ಆರ್ ರನ್ ಡೌನ್, ಹಾಕಿರ್ತಕ್ಕ ಶೂಸ್ಗಳು ಹರಿದೋಗಿದ್ದಾವೆ. Across his chest is an old alto saxophone. Across his chest is an old alto saxophone, supported from his neck. The alto saxophone was supported by his neck, from his neck by a wire coat hanger. The George player at first has a weary expression on his face. At first he seems to be feels badly. At first he has a weary expression on his face. He keeps his head down. And appears lifeless. George player keeps his head down and appears. He seems to be lifeless. When it is his turn to play, when he starts to play music, he lifts the saxophone to his lips. He lifts the saxophone to his lips. Suddenly, he is filled with a new life. when he starts music, he is filled with new life. He is not longer a helpless old man. He is not longer a helpless old man. There is a power in his music. There is a power in his music which draws people to listen to his music. He has the power to draw the people to listen to his music. He has such a power. He was such a musician. The point is that now he is no longer an ordinary man. He is like a bird flying. He is like a bird flying higher and higher. How does he sing? When he starts to play, he seems to be a bird flying higher and higher, totally lost in the beautiful music he produces. So we can say George Player lost in his beautiful music he produces. So the George Player is a message to this world. Okay. Have you understood the point? Have you understood the point? Yes, right. Now I am going to ask you some questions related to the lesson. So, can you give a short description of George Player? Can you give a short description of the George Player? Yes. Okay. Short description. Can you give a short description about George Player? Yes, George Player has a wrinkled old face. The George Player has a wrinkled old face. He is unshaven and has a tired look. He seems to be very tired. He wears a faded blue shirt, an old necktie and jacket. His shoes are run down. His shoes are old and worn out. Shoes are old and worn out. Yes. The George Player has a wrinkled old face. He is unshaven. He is unshaven and has a tired look. That's tired look. He wears faded blue shirt. Faded blue shirt, an old necktie, an old necktie and jacket.
market. His shoes are old and worn out. His shoes are old and worn out. That means his shoes are running down. Next question. Why do you think the jazz player keeps his head down? Why do you think the jazz player keeps his head down? Oh yes, the jazz player is a poor old man. He has lived a hard life. He led a hard life. He is tired. So, he keeps his head down. He keeps his head down. The jazz player is a poor old man. Poor old man. Poor old man. He has lived a hard life. Lived a hard life. Hard life. He is tired. He is tired. So he keeps his head down. He is a poor old man. He led a hard life. He is tired. So he keeps his head down. Next question. The word has been repeated several times in the first two stanzas. The word has been repeated several times in the first two stanzas. What does this suggest? Why does the poet use the word world many times in this poem? Yes, everything about the man is old. His face, his clothes, his shoes. All the things are old. He appears to be a pathetic figure. Appears to be a pathetic figure. Everything about the man is old. Is old. His face, his clothes, and his shoes. And his shoes. He appears to be a pathetic figure. Appears to be a pathetic figure. So the things he had were all old. His shirt, his tie, his shoes, and his face also. He appears to be a pathetic figure. So the poet used the word old many times in this part. Next question.
message does the judge player want to convey? What message does the judge player want to convey? Yes. So the judge player wants to convey to the world that he is a black man. What does he want to convey to the world? That he is a black man who can draw people towards religion, who can draw people towards religion and convey the message of God through his music. The judge player convey the message of God through his music. Through his music. The judge player wants to convey to the world that he is a black man. That he is a black man. He is a black man who can draw people, towards religion. And convey the message of God. The message of God through his music. Through his music. The church poem wants to convey the message of the God through his music. Oh. Okay, you have answered all the questions well. Now we have come to the last segment of this class. So that is one more segment. Okay, I am going to give you some questions. Take them. So give a short description of the judge player. Judge player. Question number 2. Why do you think the judge player keeps his head down? Keeps his head down.
What message does the jazz player want to convey? How does the jazz player change as he plays on the saxophone? So, take down all these questions and answer all the questions in your own and submit to your teacher in the next class. Okay? Thank you.